Hey guys, welcome back. You know what hurts more than making a hard decision? Staying stuck in what God already told you to walk away from. Some of you are losing your peace, your sleep, even your purpose because you're trying to avoid the pain. So today's topic, we're talking about making the right decision even when your feelings are fighting back. Let's talk about it, guys. This is Conversations That Lead to Greatness. My name is Lakeisha Smith.
And I'm Lester Smith.
And welcome back to our podcast where we educate, motivate, and inspire you to break free of your limiting mindsets in marriage, faith, and finance that hinders your ability to create the life you desire. Today, we're talking about making the right decision. As you see from the thumbnail, we're getting serious today, okay? We need some deliverance going on as you watch this because a lot of us is losing too much sleep, too much peace, and even our purpose because we are so afraid to make the right decision. Okay, so you ready for it today, baby?
Why not?
And then today we're gonna share. I guess we can share experience where we had to make a hard decision individually, just to get some insight, and then let them know how we just had to go ahead and do it and what's the effect of it and all that good stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Before we get started, guys, if you have not joined the family of like-minded individuals that is tapping into their greatness, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting for? Push the button. Push the subscribe button and join the family. Why you be looking at me like that? You be looking at me like, I wish this girl be quiet. So you do?
What's going on, y'all?
Okay,
Everything good?
He's trying to rush me. So now we got all that stuff out the way. Let's jump into this topic because obviously he's ready. You ready?
When you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
She ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So making the right decision or the right choice, even when it hurts.
Yeah.
What way you want to go on that? We got faith, family, marriage,
let the Lord work.
money.
Let the Lord work. You know, the thing about it is, I think about the kids. Think about the kids. It was. I'm gonna necessarily say my decision, but I'm a firm believer in sparing the rod and ruining the child.
Okay.
My wife is not. Right? So we kind of argued about that, in the beginning. And then she would kind of be watching me when I get a kids a pop. You
see that?
Yeah, watching me. When I get kids a pop, trying to say I want to make sure you don't go overboard. What? The Bible says spare the rod, ruin the child. So even making the right decision when what?
When your feelings is fighting.
Yeah.
Fighting back.
So I think you need to make the right decision to give them a pop when your feelings is fighting back. Cause let me say this, you like to wait till they get too far.
Do I?
Yeah,
Okay.
You wait till they get too far. Then you want to pop after you told them 52 times. You know what I mean? So I think that's the right decision. Just to go ahead on and just tell them 2 times and then bow. You know what I'm saying? On their butt.
I think that's the difference. The way God made us.
Yeah.
God made us to be more nurturing than y'all. So you wouldn't men. You wouldn't understand why we do what we do.
Okay.
Now I'm not saying that some parents just don't parent that way. They just spoil their kid and whatever.
Yeah.
But the ones who are a real mom that nourish their kids and know the importance of how to raise your kid godly.
Yeah.
Then you understand why we do what we do.
But is that godly though?
It is very godly.
I'm saying godly not to give them that pop.
I'm not. Who said I don't pop? Like, who says that?
Yeah, you do. But
my thing is, I don't pop for every little thing. You have to get.
I'm not saying pop.
No. But what I'm saying, as growing up, making the right decision to, hey, I'm not gonna raise my kids how I was raised. Yeah. Because it ain't right. Just because every generation did it doesn't mean I'm gonna raise my kids. Okay. Because at the end of the day, it's grace and mercy. Yeah. Good. Thank God that I turned out okay because of how I was raised. So making the right decision. Let's go back. Making the right decision to not raise my kids or to change my paradigm on how I should raise my kids, even when my feelings and flesh is fighting. Yeah. Because it's easy to easily discipline your kid. Everybody tell you discipline your kid. But as a child, you got to think about, okay, how is this child going to react? do they know why I'm disciplined? Because if at the end of the day, if they don't understand why this is bad and why you need to get pop, they're going to continue to do it over and over again. But sit back, explain to them, tell them this is a bad decision. This is why I'm doing this. This is why you shouldn't. Explain to them so now they have a recollection of what's going on in their mind. So now they can make the sound decision with all information. So that's how I parent, you know.
Yeah.
But anywho, while he went on parenting. I'm gonna talk about why the hard.
I think we need to stay on parenting a little bit.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. So we're gonna change the topic. It's my time.
All right, go ahead on.
So we're gonna talk about why hard decisions are often the best decision. At first, when we make these hard decisions, it doesn't feel good, right? Because it's something we don't want to do. It's something we know we need to do, but because we're in our feelings and we constantly live in our flesh, we don't want to grab hold and go through the heartbreak. We don't want to go through the process of letting go.
You don't want to go through that. It's this. What is it called? Breaking process.
Yeah, that breaking. We don't want to go through it. So we hold on to people. We hold on to choices. We hold on to, jobs, circumstances, because we don't want to let that go and go through the process. But we know this is going to be best for me. We know that if we let this thing go and we make the right decision that God has been nudging at us for years, we know our life will be the life we dreamed of, the life we speak about.
You know what I think about a lot of times? Men that beat on women. And a lot of times they almost beat them to death almost. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They make this everyday decision to keep staying with this dude after you keep beating on him.
Yes.
And it's like they go through that for the fear of being alone. I think that's where the fear comes from. They don't want to be alone.
Okay.
Well, when they can easily just go ahead on and just leave and be alone for a little while and probably find somebody who will be better, that'll treat them a whole lot better.
I think it's more, when you talk about that topic, it's more psychological. Because most people that is in that position, what the man do is psychologically rape them. Meaning they let them know, like they twist their whole way of thinking about themselves and how others perceive them. So now their mind, the psyche of themselves is twisted. So now they're believing what this man said, that nobody's gonna love you. This is the best, you're gonna get. I love you. I do this because I love you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's twisted in that sense. So I think that's kind of like a touchy subject, because it's easy to say just leave when you've never been in the situation. But they know that decision once that person start healing. Once that person start to take accountability. I always say healing starts with accountability, no matter what. To make the right decision, the right choice, even when it hurt, accountability. Take your accountability that you played in the situation and move on and move forward and start the healing process. But healing cannot start until you be accountable for yourself. I'm going to say I don't know where I get that from.
I know. Yeah, you know where you got it from.
Who?
Cat Williams or Kevin Hart, one of
them. But that's one thing we have to understand. So the hard decisions are often the most holiest decisions, the most best decisions we can make. But you got to put your feelings aside. You got to do the right thing. You know that movie, Do the Right Thing? Because at the end of the day...
Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
So how you go?
Because I know it ain't that Spike Lee.
Yeah, it's Spike Lee. But how you just go just say no? That movie, Do the Right Thing. What was the right thing that was done though? You know exactly. So you can't say that. You messing up my flow. You gotta just do it like Nike say.
Hey, come back. Get in the zone, Smith.
I'm in the zone. I can't let you just be
messing up my flow.
I hear just quoting stuff. You don't even know what's being said in the movie. But
there you go.
Yeah.
Go. So okay, let's do. What was one decision you had to make that was hard, but you knew was the best thing to do?
I got so many, man.
One.
It's just, you just want me to just pick
one. We ain't got all day.
Just pick one, huh?
Because you long-winded.
Yeah. The decision to start. Most recently, the decision to start the mentorship.
Okay.
I've been knowing that was the right thing to do, and God had been speaking to me about that, but I kept shying away from it. Like, who gonna listen to me? I don't know enough to teach nobody. I don't, but as you see, when I get in there, I'm just, I just start teaching, and I just pretty much don't shut up, and I can stay, we stayed on there, about 3 hours one night, it's just like and you know it's deep down, you know it's the right decision. You know it, but it's like, Lord, how are we gonna make it?
Yes.
I don't, but he constantly show us that, I'm making provision for you, and he just keeps sending the people. You know what I mean? It's like, but that initial decision was the hardest to make for me.
Right.
But I knew deep down that that's what God wanted me to do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mine would be.
You want me to go a little deep on that?
If you want to.
No, go ahead. You good. Okay. I'm just messing with you because it seemed like you was ready.
I wasn't. Go ahead. I'm trying to, because I don't want to tell this one, but go ahead.
Okay.
Keep going.
So and then when he kept nudging at me to do that, and I just kept, I guess the devil, because anytime it's a negative thought, it's of the devil, telling you you're not enough, telling you can't do this and all that good stuff. It's nothing but the devil. And as he keep telling you that over and over again, you start to believe that. Like, I can't do this. I can't. And then one day I remember this day so plainly. Back in like August, September. He say, hey, I was listening to a sermon walking through the park, and he say, I want you to start charging for mentorship. And I'm like, start charging for mentorship. Now, mind you, I've been doing this for the last 5 years for free. Start charging for mentorship. I can't start charging for mentorship, But I say, okay, God, is this what you want me to do? I'm gonna start charging for mentorship. And an hour later, somebody called me and asked me, well, actually texted me and asked me how much do I charge for mentorship?
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, Lord, I see what you're doing. So you already knew this person was gonna call me. You already knew it was on their mind to call me and ask me to text me and ask me how much I charge for mentorship. So you're gonna go ahead and start telling me. You're gonna go ahead and tell me to start charging before they call. So that'll just be confirmation when they call.
Right.
Yeah, because he probably was already looking for a mentor anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just, and as I sit back and think about that, I always knew that's what he wanted me. Remember, I used to tell you that all the time.
Yeah.
That he wanted me to mentor young men, and that's what grieves my heart. Just like one of the young men that I have in the mentorship, be 14 years old, and it's like, I remember me when I was 14. I was out stealing cars and stealing this. Not to mention the situation we just had this weekend.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. It's like that grieves my heart, and I want to help them before they get too far gone.
Right.
But then I also want to help people that's already doing good. They just need to go to the next level.
Right.
Yeah. So
and that's the thing, because the number one question a person may have watching this is, how do I know if this is the right decision? How do I know if this is what God is telling me to do?
Yeah.
How do I forget about how I push past the feelings, right? The feelings that I'm feeling, and look towards the future. Mm-hmm. So I would say, when God tells you to do something, or when there's when you need to make the right decision, God always sends someone to confirm. Someone, something, somebody, something is going to confirm with your spirit that this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I always say, man, you have to literally fight. You have to literally be intentional in suppressing what God is doing in your life.
Yeah.
You have to literally do it, because it's so loud sometimes. Circumstances can be so loud. Situations can be so loud where you are intentionally suppressing that thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I always say take accountability, because you have a choice to make.
And it's not just you have to suppress it that one time. You got to suppress it many times.
Yeah, you got to keep doing it.
Because it keep coming back to you.
Exactly.
It just keep coming back, and you're like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, it's like the little buddy be in your ear. Like, God dang, I should go somewhere, right?
And then you'll be watching something on YouTube or watching something, on Instagram or something, and it just keep hitting you. Hitting you. Like, bro, would you just stop? But he ain't gonna stop though.
He's not gonna stop.
He's not gonna stop.
Because he's trying to get you to understand and discern the difference between living in your feelings and then having that true discernment. Mm-hmm. A lot of times we live in our feelings, and we get so used to doing that the hard decision becomes like this thing that we so afraid of.
Yeah.
Like we build so much fear behind the hard decision when we know it's the best thing for us, right? So as y'all can see, I'm prolonging because I'm hoping God is gonna drop another story.
He wants you to go with that one.
I don't want to.
See, you bullconing though.
But don't bullcone me.
I'm not bullconing you. You bullconing the Lord. The Lord has already told you.
That.
Look, the Lord has already told you that's what He wants you to talk about. And let me bring this in, because she's going to talk about it. The Lord already worked on it. But the Lord already told you that's what He wants you to do. And the reason He's telling you to do that, because somebody's watching this. And let me say this. When she tell this story, if this story touched you in a certain kind of way and it resonated with you, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Drop that in the comments when she tell this story and say, that story you told was for me. You know what I mean? So that way, I really need you to do that because a lot of like she said, we fight against things a lot of times, but the Lord is telling us to do it. And as we fight against it, it just, you know, you might not tell it in this episode, but he gonna make you tell it, and then he gonna keep nudging at you about it, and you gonna end up telling it in another episode. You know what I mean? So yeah, but drop that down in the comments after she tells the story. Let's go with it. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. We have a very special announcement for you.
Yes, guys. So we're so excited to announce our new mentorship program where we help individuals and couples break free of their limiting mindsets in marriage, faith, and finance that is hindering their ability toward the life they desire.
Guys, inside this mentorship community, we have 2 Zoom calls a week, and we also bring an expert in every Friday to talk about what they do and how they can help us.
Yes, guys, and this is all done in a community setting. So if you're ready to join a community of like-minded individuals, we got you, okay? For more information, please be sure to check the description box down below. And hey, let's get back to your episode. My turn. Why mine's gotta always be relationship?
Well, you know, praise the Lord.
Mine was one of the hardest decisions that I had to make. Was letting go of a relationship that was so close to me.
No longer serving you.
Yeah, but it was so close to me as if like another sister, like, you know what I'm saying? Letting that go on a good note. And the reason being is because I had to realize that where God is taking me, if I would have stayed closely connected to that relationship, I wouldn't jump. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. So I would be suppressing. I would be stagnant. I would be compromising, right? Because a lot of times we hold on to relationships and it causes us to compromise our true values because of the connection, because of the love, because of the loyalty, right? So letting go of that relationship was one of the hard decisions, but I knew it was best because we both needed to grow separately. A lot of times we are so used to having them day ones and them loyal people around us that we think we need to go everywhere with that person, that we need to go to the next level with that person, that we need to cry with this person, that we need to share everything with this person. And we not understanding that you and this person is just alike. You can't get no perspective. You can't get no new no, not perspective. No, yeah.
Yeah.
No new insight.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go.
You have the same old minds that created the problem, created the situation, created who you are now, is working together trying to come up with a new solution. It would never work because no one is on the next level. Right? So that was one thing I had to learn. Was it hard? Yes. Did I struggle with it? Yes. And I still struggle with it today. Sometimes I want to go back. Sometimes I want to go back and rebuild. But then I have to realize, God, you called me out of that. Yeah. Why am I trying to put myself back in a situation that you delivered me from? And I know for a fact that it was for my good. I also know for the fact it was for that person's own good as well, because we needed to grow separately. Yeah. A lot of times we find comfort in people, and God can't be God in our life because we're so comfort and so confined to what that person is telling us our identity is. Instead of being God, listen, you tell me my identity. You work in my life. You be my God. Not our God, but you be my God. So that was, some relationships we stand stuck in, and I'm not just talking about sexual. I'm talking about platonic friendships. I'm talking about co-workers, like those type of relationships where we know that it compromises our morals, our values, compromise what God is telling us to do, compromise our faith walk. Those are the relationships we have to let go, even when our feelings is fighting back, even when we look at the history. Look at what we've been through. Yeah, you've been through a lot. Good. But that was the past. When God is trying to elevate you and take you to your next level, you have to recognize that you can't take everybody with you. And it's okay. It doesn't mean something bad had to happen. Yeah. It is okay. You just grew apart.
You know what I realized too, though? A lot of us want more income.
More what?
More income, more money. We want to make more money.
Moolah.
Yeah, we want to make more money. In a lot of cases, all it takes for you to get around the people that's making the kind of money that you want to make. Yeah. So what's going to happen to those people that you've been hanging around? You're not going to be able to be around them as much. You're going to be hanging around these new people. And on every level, and I can attest to this, every level you're going to meet some new friends. Some new people that's going to reach down and pull you up and say, hey, come on, man, come on. And I've shown her that time after time, with these different people that I'm meeting and people that come into the mentorship and speak and come on, bro, come on, let me help you go to the next level.
Yeah.
And as you keep on trying to hold on, it's like somebody trying to pull you up, and then you trying to hold on to the person that's down there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You can't hold them. You got to let them go so that way you can go up.
And then we blame the crab in the bucket.
Yeah.
Mentality.
Yeah.
That
is the crowd. That is the crowd because they're going to keep on holding on to you.
They're going to keep, but yes, indeed. But you got to know how to let them go.
You got to kick them off.
Yeah.
They be holding on to your foot. You got to just kick them.
Yes, you have to fight.
Like, bro, I got to go. I
got to go.
I can't stay here no longer.
Yeah.
Well, God is trying to take me, and I feel God nudging at me, telling me that, hey, you need to come on, go higher. We're always supposed to be perpetually increasing.
Yeah.
All the time. We're supposed to be like a tree. And, I often think about the story when Jesus put the spit on the guy's eyes and he saw people and they were like trees walking. Mm-hmm. He seen the people how God wanted them to be. That's how he seen them. But I can't let you see them like that. You need to see them the way they are, because if you see them like that, you're gonna always be trying to push them higher, always trying to push people into what you want them to be. But that's not what I need you to be here for. I need you to constantly be you being a tree and helping other people to be a tree as well, not constantly pushing them all the time.
And this is the thing.
Yeah.
We are so adamant about pushing people into who we want them to be or who they need to be.
Exactly.
But we're not taking that same energy and putting it towards ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, raise my hand, ouch, my feet hurt.
Yeah.
I was guilty of that.
Your feet. What
you know how I say when you step on
somebody step on your toes?
Yeah, just say ouch and
you stepped on your own toes.
I stepped on my own, okay?
All right, then.
Because I was that person. I was always seeing the best. Hey, you need to be this. You need to do this. My image of you is who you need to be in order for us to be friends.
Yeah.
In order for us to have a relationship, right? Not knowing that I was literally pushing them into something that they wasn't
ready for.
Yeah, they wasn't ready for, right?
They might go to it on a later date, but as of right now, they're not ready for that.
But but I wasn't doing myself.
Yeah.
And it was almost like a coping mechanism. Mm. You know how I say we become a distraction to other people because we don't want to deal with our ish? Mm. I said that in a previous episode. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get out my comfort zone. Mm. I didn't want to jump into the unknown because fear and doubt, all this stuff by people pleasing, all the ish that I had to heal from was holding me captive.
But you can push somebody else.
But I can push somebody else.
Yeah.
And I use that as that's my superpower. I'm a great friend because I motivate, I inspire, I do all this stuff, educate. But sis, do that. Take the same. Do what it say. Work on yourself first.
Let me ask you a question. What happened to all the people that you was pushing?
They're around. It just sounds like I told the straight lie. They are around. They're not around me.
They're around, but they not. Cause let me say this.
Here we go.
No. This is serious. When a lot of us are like this, a lot of us do exactly what you said you was doing. I'm not gonna say a lot.
Thank you.
But there's some people out there that does that, and you know what happens by you continuously doing that over and over again. You end up getting hurt, and you hurt yourself. They didn't hurt you.
Exactly.
You hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because you steadily trying to push them. You want more for them, but you're hurting yourself by doing that because they're not ready for that. So you constantly pushing. Guess what? You don't do nothing but what do you call it? To your demise.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you want more for them
than they want for themselves.
Not knowing you are them.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It's something in both of y'all that is connecting you together. It's something you see, some kind of trait. You know how it always say you attract who you are?
Yeah.
Same thing. I was pushing them to be more, but I was still them. We were still the same people.
Yeah.
So why push them to be more and not myself? Like lead by example. That's what I'm learning. Make that hard decision, the right choice, whatever you want to call it. Lead by example and let them see your light shine. Right?
Yeah.
Don't dim your light.
Yeah.
Don't hide your light. The Bible tells us that. Don't hide the light. Let your light shine.
Yeah.
And let everyone who have the eyes to see, let them see it. And what that means, when they are ready to come into that light or be enlightened, they'll come around. If they're not ready, okay, cool, but you still grow.
Yeah.
You still make the right decision. because you know you want the best life. Yeah. We always praying and having vision boards and talking about goals and all this stuff as if we can't accomplish it. We can accomplish anything we put our mind to. The thing is, we got to have faith and action. We just can't have faith to speak these things. Yeah. You got to put action behind it, meaning you have to undo some things. Yeah. You have to become. You have to heal. You have to take accountability. Those things you need to do in order for you to get the life that you are claiming you want. And it goes back, how bad do you want it? Yeah. Because I wanted to the point where I wasn't afraid to lose everybody and everything. I wanted it that bad because I got tired of me. I got tired of the ish that my husband used to always tell me about. I got tired of that.
Do you remember the question I asked you?
Yes, I already answered it. I answered it.
Well, let me tell him the question I asked. The question I asked you. I say, we about to go to this next level. And we go to the next level, we're gonna have to leave some people behind, whether it be friends, family members, or whatever. Are you okay with that? And she said, yeah. I said, now let me tell you this. I was gonna go whether you said yes or no.
You ain't gotta put all that on.
Did I not say that?
You ain't gotta say all that now.
Hey, look, I say I was gonna go because I had it made up in my mind. My mind made up. I'm going. You know what I mean? So I need you to come on, go with me. And if you're not, then I'm still going. Only thing we're gonna do is just grow apart.
Yeah.
That's it. She say, I can't let my husband
can't
go.
Let that man. That's a good man, Savannah.
I can't let my husband go, and I ain't going too. I got to go with him. You know what I mean? I said, well, come on, let's go then. Because I'm doing what the Lord. I'm doing what thus said the Lord. You know what I mean? And as I do that, you know, your life gonna be so much better if you do what the Lord say do, versus what you want to do. Not my will, but your will, Lord.
That part.
Yeah, let me do your will, because evidently mine ain't working.
It ain't working.
You know, I'm not saying you can't be successful, but at the end of the day, let me say this. I remember when I was in the crane, and I had made it to the top. This is my dream job. This is what I want to do with the rest of my life, right? And I made it there, and I was feeling unfulfilled. And like the Lord said, you didn't reach your ceiling. You can't go no higher. I'm feeling unfulfilled. I'm like, man, why am I feeling unfulfilled? I'm reading these books. I'm listening to sermons. I'm like, man, I'm just and it's like something. It just got real loud. It's like you need to leave. You need to leave this job and step out and do what you're supposed to be doing. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, you done made it to the top. You done made it there, but you done reached your ceiling. So what you gonna do? You gonna stay here for the rest of your life until you're 65, 70 years old. And just leave here and then go die, huh? That's what you gonna do? No, that ain't what I want to do. So well, come on, let's go then. Let's go.
Let's make this hard decision.
Yeah.
Let's step away from some things.
And that was a hell of a hard decision. You know, making $200,000+ a year to just step away from that. You know.
But it was the best. That's what we have to realize. Like when God takes something away, granted, what He's gonna give is 100 times better.
Well, just finding out who you are as a person.
Yes, your identity.
Doing that deep work, healing, forgiving, you know, all that stuff. That's 100 times better than making $200,000 a year.
Come on now.
You know, being at peace with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, just walking every day in peace, even though you know you might be feeling like I'm not financially where I'm supposed to be, or this and that. Just that peace, though.
That peace.
You like, I can't be bothered right now. You know, even though, you know, somebody might be calling, talking about a home or something like that. I can't be bothered. Yeah. You know, it's like, I got that peace.
Peace.
You know, just don't answer the phone.
That's it, basically.
So, you know, it's like, man. But, you know, and then I being an entrepreneur, sometimes the money is up here and sometimes it's down here. You know, it's like, but when I was in the crane, the money was always up here. I always had almost the same amount coming every Friday. You know what I mean? It's like, but you gonna go into this entrepreneurship not knowing what am I trying to say? Not knowing the outcome. But you do know the outcome. You know eventually it's gonna, you know, you're gonna walk into your promised land. You know that. But it's just the trotting along, all of this walking that you have to do to get there.
Yes.
And not knowing what's going to happen later or when you're going to get to the promised land.
Because that walking and trotting and the process is keeping you planted. It's making your roots grow deep. Yeah. So when trials, life, and all this stuff come, because it says in the Bible, it will come. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You can count it joy.
Everything has a season.
It's a rejoice in everything.
Yeah.
So you can have joy in your heart. You're not basing your life on happy. Because a lot of times, I just want to be happy. You know, when we get into this marriage is not making me happy anymore.
That's what them women say.
Yeah.
I'm just not happy anymore in this relationship.
I'm not happy. Yeah, and you're not understanding. Happy is not. It was never something you were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Joy. No, that's something that nobody can take away, no matter your circumstance, your situation.
Yeah.
Nothing can take joy away because it's a fruit of the spirit.
Or
it's
peace.
Something.
Yeah.
It's a fruit of the spirit. It's something that your spirit man is holding on to, and it is keeping you sound, keeping you placed. Planted, right? So stop thinking about I just want to be happy. No, you don't want to be happy because now your life is based on things happening in order for you to be happy.
Oh man, let me touch on that.
No, we gotta close.
No, let me touch on that real quick. You need to be happy for yourself, regardless of man or woman. But majority of women are the ones he ain't making me happy. He ain't making me happy. I think it's about 75-80% of women file for divorce. Just women, because they file in an emotional state. They ain't emotional, and they just want to go just file for divorce. He ain't making me happy no more. Let me say this: it's not the man's job or the woman's job to make you happy.
Yeah.
It's your job to make you happy, or to get in your peaceful state, or to get in your joyous state. That's your job, to get in there, and then they just add the icing on the cake.
Exactly.
Once you realize that it's not their job to make you happy, man, your whole life gonna change. How does your life change once you realize?
What?
How does your life change once you realize it ain't my job to make you happy?
Listen, you can't take my joy. Like I'd be like, God, get your child. Hey, I don't know how he moving, but something came. Get your child. Handle that.
Yeah.
Because I'm peace over here.
Yeah.
It's peace, joy, love, happy. That's what I am.
Yeah.
Nobody can take that away. Do I fall short sometimes? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I pick myself back up and be like, nah, that's not you. That's the old you. That's
and that go both ways. Because sometimes she'll say something out of line, and I just don't even say nothing.
Yeah, you do that.
I just don't even say nothing. And I know she'd be like, I want this nigga to hear what I just said. I just want, but I know if I say something to her, it's gonna take me out of my peaceful state.
Yeah.
And I don't need to do that. I know the devil is using her right now.
The devil.
Yeah, the devil.
Oh my God.
The devil using her right now. I can't let him use me as well. He's not going to use both of us. So I'm gonna just let her go ahead and say her little sly remark, and I'm gonna just chill. And then we both do that. We both do that. But it's like if I let her take me out of my peaceful state, then guess what? We both out of whack.
Yeah.
But if I just stay in my peaceful state, guess what happened? She gonna come back down to the peaceful state. You know what I mean? I remember one day we was in the kitchen and she said something to me. I forget what it was. And I said, I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of Jesus. And it ran me hot. What she said, it ran me hot. But I went outside. I went outside in the garage. I said, I'm gonna go outside. That's what I'm gonna do. And I had left my drink in the house. She brought my drink outside and put it on the car. that let me know that she knew she was wrong, and she good now. She didn't went back to her peaceful state. You know what I mean? Because I was already there. I didn't went outside. I got back to my peaceful state. And when I seen the cup that she had put the cup, I said, okay. I said, all right, Lord, I see what happened.
That's what the Lord told me to do. He said you was wrong. Now, I could have made the right decision or the wrong decision. I could have ignored that conviction, right? Because of my feelings. Because I didn't want to succumb to my pride. Yeah. I wanted my ego to be like, this is what it is. Yeah. But I made the right decision. I made a right choice to go and make peace.
And most women, they ain't going to come and say, I'm sorry.
But I don't do that.
Hey, I'm just being honest. They ain't going to come and say, I'm sorry. But that cup on the car let me know that hey, baby, I'm sorry.
And I think I apologized when you came in.
I don't remember.
Because I shared my
that was a time where I just remember blatantly. You know what I mean? Because I was like, bro, no, you're not about to take me there. No. And I think even the kids was here. I just hollered out real loud. I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of Jesus. Just left out the house, man. Well, that was too funny, man. Went out there with the wiping on the car or something. I don't know what I was doing outside.
At least the car got wiped down. Say thank you.
But the thing about it is, you have to stay in your peaceful state, no matter if somebody else is not in their peaceful state. Because I remember sometimes, back in the Gap too, she would, try to be with an argument. I'm like, I'm good. I'm not trying to go there. Because if I go there, it's just gonna be. Because let me say this: as men, most men, I'm gonna say myself. I ain't gonna say most men. Myself and a lot of men that I know, our temper gets bad real quick. So when you got a person just yakking in your face, you just, wow, before you know it, you've been slapped the hell out of them, or, or hit them or something. You know what I mean? So it's best for me to remove myself from the situation, go think about this, and then come back later and talk about it. And say, hey, you want to talk about that now, since you're not doing all the yakking now? You know what I mean? But yeah.
Anywho, so let's send one piece of encouragement advice. Yeah. Let's encourage the people that is listening to this.
Yeah.
To let them know you can make the right decision even when it hurts the most.
Yeah.
Because what's worse is staying stuck.
Yeah.
What God already told you to walk away from.
Yeah.
That hurt worse.
Yeah.
So you want to give them one piece?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Quick, short, straight to the point, Lester.
Quick, short, straight to the point.
Forgot sweet.
Don't stay in that bad situation too much longer. This might be, God talking to you right now. Don't stay in that too much longer, because you probably gonna stay in it for. I've seen so many people stay in relationships 10, 20 years when they know they should have left at year 5 or something of that nature. Now, as a man, God sent us to lead. God sent us to lead. So men, find out what your purpose is in life. Find out what your purpose is in life, and guess what? She's gonna help you get to your purpose and find her purpose as well. Mm-hmm. But when nobody wants to know their purpose, it's hard. It's hard. And we were there for many years. That's why I can attest to it. But when I jumped in and go find my purpose, and when I do what the Lord told me to do, then here she comes. She coming. That's if she want to be better and do better. But if she don't want to be better and do better, she's not coming. And it's okay to grow apart. It's okay. It's okay. God is going to send you that person that you're supposed to grow with. That's just what it is. Mm-hmm. What you got?
Mine would be is you're not weak because it hurts, right? I don't want you to look at that hurt as weakness, but look at it as you're strong because you're still choosing what's right.
Yeah,
that's strong. It takes courage to do what's right. It takes courage to do what nobody else is doing, to step out, to leave a situation that is ideal to the world, that's ideal to the people that's on the outside looking in. To do what God is calling you to do, that takes courage.
Yeah.
So you're not weak because it hurt. Yes, we're feelings, we're human. It's going to hurt. You're going to go through the emotions of it, right? But the thing is to go through the emotions and not stay.
Yeah.
To go through the emotions and go on the other side where there is healing. And now you can go and share this with someone else to let them know you too can make the right decision. You too can do what God called you to do. You too can have a kingdom marriage. You too can have a kingdom business. You too can raise kingdom kids. Like, that's the whole point of why we're here, is to be Christ-like here on earth and let everybody else know that the way that we're doing it is the way God is his will. It's his purpose. It's his heart.
Yeah.
So it's not for us to just go through the hurt and feel like this at the end of the world. God don't want me to have nothing. God don't want happiness. No, he know the hardest decision is the best decision, because you got to get broken. You got to break.
Yeah.
And then come back up so you can be planted. So yeah, that's what we got, guys. So if this hit home for you, I want you to write in the comments, God help me to make the right decision even when it hurts. Help me. Yeah. Type that down in the comments as we stand in the gap and pray for you guys.
Yeah.
Listen, we're all in this together. We are a community. So we're holding each other accountable, and we're also praying with each other, praying for each other. So yeah, that's all I got. Hope this episode hit home and it resonate. It opened the light and all that good stuff.
I'm going to say this before we go, and we're going to close out. For all the new people that are watching this, you didn't hit this by accident. It's God. He wanted to talk to you. And he speaks through people. He speaks through people, and sometimes, we don't want to hear it, but it's necessary. It's necessary for you to hear it. I hear God saying so many times to me, you plant the seed, I'm going to water it. And I do that often. I say, Lord, send me the person I'm supposed to sow a seed into today. So evidently that's you today, or, you might have 2 or 3 people you want me to sow a seed into today. But anyway, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
That part.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. God is good. Life is good. When we look good, we feel good. We live in a life of abundance. Peace.
Bye, guys.